Hey, everybody. We're going to go ahead and share out all these links here, and then we're going to get rolling here in about a minute.
Un minuto.
Uno minuto. Uno minuto. Share. Hey, everybody. We're going to go ahead and share out all these links here, and then we're going to get rolling. Share to about a minute. Matt Moscona.
Un minuto.
Uno minuto. Uno minuto. Share. Hey, everybody. We're going to go ahead and share out all these links here, and then we're going to get rolling. Share to about a minute. Matt Moscona.
Un minuto.
Uno minuto. Uno minuto. Share.
Uno minuto.
It's minuto.
Minuto?
Yeah.
I think it's un minuto.
Minuto.
Minuto? Minuto.
You.
Minuto.
You.
Do you say
minuto?
But I think you say. Do you say un or uno? I think it's un.
Uno would be one.
Yeah.
Minuto. Un minuto.
Yeah. Minuto.
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 Oh, I got a second audio source, but I need to mute that. There we go. All right, let's say hi to everybody, then we're going to get started. Hey, my Aunt Nancy's watching. That's my godmother.
I like Aunt Nancy.
Why don't you say hi to her?
Hey, Aunt Nancy.
She's a big LSU baseball fan.
Yeah, she is.
No, she is. Seriously, when we went to Omaha in 2000, she made me get an autographed baseball of everybody on that team.
Did you get my autograph?
I'm sure I did. I got everybody on that team. If I didn't, I hate you, and you need to sign her baseball.
I signed it for Aunt Nancy.
Probably did.
She's the best.
Nick Torina, Paul O'Neill.
Yeah, what's up,
Colby,
Nick?
everybody, please hit the share button. Tremendous help if you would.
Shout out to LSU softball.
Please share.
Un minuto.
I got to find the open for this stupid show that we do. Where is it? Oh, there it is. You ready?
Yep.
You need to put it in your headphones.
Okay.
I feel like it should be playing. Okay, no, I'm sorry. The volume was all the way down. Here we go. You ready? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Here we go.
This is the Riot Podcast with Matt Moscona and Ryan Terrio. One is an athlete, the other an athletic supporter. Follow the guys on Twitter at Matt Moscona and at rterrio7. Here's Matt and Ryan.
Okay, Riot Podcast, presented by Prime Occupational Medicine. Matt, Ryan, Paul O'Neill. We're here. Glad you are as well. A lot to get to. I love this time of year.
Love it.
You know, football is great for us in the business because everybody's so engaged and, you know, you have one big, gigantic thing to talk about. But this time of year is everything, man.
It is.
LSU baseball is ranked number 1. Basketball is ranked number 13. The Pelicans are like right in the middle of all the national conversation because Anthony Davis saga. You just got so much going on right now. I love this time of year. It's really a lot of fun.
Gymnastics
Is doing what?
popping.
It's tough to make gymnastics a talk topic. You know what I mean? Because I think people casually pay attention because they're really good. But like I can't break down, you know, like a double handspring loop-de-doop. You know what I mean?
I like the loop-de-doops.
The loop-de-doops. I can't break that down.
When you can execute the loop-de-doop, honestly, the double.
When you execute the double loop-de-doop.
Oh, my gosh. It's a thing of beauty. It really is.
So a lot we'll get to on today's episode. Kick Rocks coming up. Ryan's Wise, an MLB free agency edition of Ryan's Wise. Basketball's got a big game tomorrow with Florida coming in. They're all big at this point. LSU football is the number 1 ranked recruiting class for 2020. They get another commit, so we'll get to all of that. Your questions as well in the Ask Us. For those who are listening to the podcast right now, we record this live every Tuesday, noon Central, on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge Facebook page. So we invite you to join us live. You can watch us here in studio doing the podcast, and you can participate with your questions and comments like everyone who's doing right now, so we appreciate that. Let's start, though, in your wheelhouse, LSU baseball. They opened up this weekend against, well, it was a round robin. So they played ULM, Army, and Air Force. They start 3-0, had to come from behind in 2 of the games. I have a handful of what I feel like were the main topics coming out of the weekend. I could lob them to you one at a time.
Yeah.
Or you can just start with what you feel like were your takeaways from the weekend.
Let's do the lob.
Okay. first things first that everybody wants to talk about, obviously, is Zack Hess, who struggled, didn't get out of the fourth inning. So this question sort of persists: Is Hess the dude? Is Hess the Friday night guy?
So two things. I think, number one, that it is extremely early to start making assumptions on where Zack Hess will be when the season ends. He tailed off a little bit last year, as everybody knows, but when he took the ball for Team USA against the best competition in the world, he absolutely dominated this summer, which tells me that, what happened this weekend could have been one of many things, but you hate to pitch or play to the level of your competition. But, man, look, I'm going to tell you, it's tough to get up when you're facing, a team full of guys. And this is no offense to, was it ULM? Mm-hmm. It's no offense to those guys, but, players that really shouldn't be getting hits off of you. It's just hard to focus in and lock in. And, I'm not saying he's right or that's the right way to do it, but I will say from experience it makes it difficult. And secondly, when you have your coach go out on a limb and say he's going to be a dude and he's going to be the Friday night starter the entire season, no questions asked, that puts some pressure on the kid, to go out there, some pressure that doesn't necessarily need to be there. You want him to go out there, you want him to take the ball, you want him to execute pitches and pitch deep into a game. And you don't want to be pitching to keep a job, and I feel like that could be kind of what's happening here, or what happened Friday night is, hey, I'm going to show everybody that I deserve to be the Friday night starter, and it just didn't quite go the way he had wanted to. So
sometimes guys aren't locked in game one. By the way, here's what Maneri said at Baseball Media Day, because I get this question, I've gotten it 100 times since Friday. When are they going to move Hess? Well, they're not, and here's why.
I can tell you on Friday night it'll be Zack Hess. And let's go ahead and just say this right now, right out front, okay? Zack Hess is going to be our Friday night starter for the entire season. There's no consideration to moving him to the bullpen. He's our dude, and I think he's ready to be, if not the best, one of the very best pitchers in the Southeastern Conference.
So when people say, when are they going to move Zack Hess, they're not. Clearly, one of the reasons he's back at LSU this year was the understanding that he would be in the rotation. You know this and could probably validate this better than I can. He is going to be a more valuable draft prospect if he has a good season as a starter as opposed to a closer. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Yeah, much easier to go from the starting role to the bullpen.
It's why he's back at LSU this year. He is going to be a starter all year. The other thing that annoys me is listening to people say, the numbers are what they are. He stunk last year. Zack Hess had an awful outing in the opener against Notre Dame. And then for 2 months, he was arguably the best pitcher in college baseball. Starting with the Texas series in week 2, going through the end of April, he was arguably the best pitcher in college baseball. Mm-hmm. And he ran out of gas. First season starting, they clearly didn't pace him well. I'd like to see them just in this first month pace him a little better, and hopefully he learns some of those lessons so that way he can pitch through April into May and June, because you need him to be your dude for another 2 months. But the bottom line is, man, he throws 96 and has a wipeout slider. If he's controlling his stuff, there are not many college hitters that are going to hit him. He elevated a fastball on Friday night. A guy whacked it, okay? If Hess's stuff is moving and he's locating, he's going to be really good. I think he's going to be fine. It's an awful overreaction after one game.
No, it is. It's definitely an overreaction. But let me ask you this. With the way Jalen Hill pitched on Sunday, with the way Landon Marceau pitched, I'm excited to see some of the midweek stuff here coming up.
Yeah, Cole Henry
young
today.
Guys,
yeah.
Right? Eric Walker.
I know where you're going.
I thought threw well. Let's say Henry goes out there and dominates. Let's say he puts up a Jalen Hill type performance. Landon Marceau is efficient. Are we making this about Zack Hess rather than about the team? I mean, it's a
fair question.
At what point do you say, okay, I mean, I get it. We told this guy he was going to be a starter. Thanks for coming back. We appreciate it. We can have you. But, man, I mean, you've got You've got some guys that are really throwing the ball well.
That's fair. And the counter argument is, okay, what happened? So Jaden Hill threw on Sunday against an Air Force team that scored 2 runs all weekend before they got shut out and scored 2 and then scored 5 against LSU when the game was already over. They couldn't score. That's number one. So can he be – what happens when Jaden Hill takes the ball at Mississippi State? How different is that when 10,000 at Dudy Noble are yelling at you as opposed to a lazy Sunday against Air Force? And I don't know, but that's the unknown. That's the unknown variable. It's why I love having Eric Walker back. It's why I want Zack Hess. It's why I hope Mikhail Hilliard rounds into form, because last year Mikhail Hilliard took the ball on the road against Vanderbilt in a situation where LSU was floundering, and he was nails. I mean, I know he can do that. I've seen him do it. The freshmen, they got to go prove it. Great start. I'm excited about him, but there's less of an unknown with them.
I agree.
All right, Marceau and Hill, any thoughts on the two of them?
I think, both of them, well, Marceau as advertised. Extremely efficient, strike thrower, mature beyond his years on the mound presence, the body language, the things that you look for from young pitchers. He's got it all. He checked all the boxes. I think LSU's really fortunate to have this guy on campus. Jaden Hill, I mean, wow. You hear about the electric stuff and the size and the athleticism that everybody's talked about, but when I tell you, and there's a difference between 95 or 96 on the gun that, is hittable, like we kind of saw it with Hess. It's hittable. And then there's the 94, 95 that is what we call heavy. Like, it almost seemed like it was a bowling ball coming in there. His heaters were just bearing in on guys. I mean, the strikes were thrown with conviction. He was in control and in command. He dominated with his fastball. And here's what I'll tell you. If pitchers can pitch off the heater and get swings and misses off the heater, now you got something.
The other thing I'll tell you about Hill that I thought was super impressive, through 4 innings, he had 7 strikeouts, and he'd only thrown 59 pitches. So, like, typically, if as a starter, you want to average between 12 and 15 pitches an inning, right? If you're at 12 to 15 pitches, you're pacing well to get deep into a ball game. If you struck out 7 guys, typically you're going to have a 6, 7, 8 pitch at bat mixed in there, right? I mean, it's just natural. You're going to get some foul balls, and if you got 7 strikeouts through 4 innings and you're sitting on 59 pitches, ain't nobody touching you.
So first thing I looked at was how many pitches he threw.
Dude, and then the one spot he got into trouble, and Maneri went and got Costello up, Hill comes back and gets out of the 5th with a strikeout.
You remember what Cedric said on Friday?
No.
You asked him, you said, what do you want to see? What is it you want? And he
Cedric,
said,
by the way, is Cedric Harris, former LSU outfielder, who's Jaden Hill's cousin, who was on the radio show last Friday.
He said, I want to see him get into a tough spot. I want the crowd to get loud, and then I want to see how he handles it and see if he can get out of it. That was perfect.
Mission accomplished. He was awesome. Brock Mathis catching?
I mean, did well. I thought he was serviceable, and I think it. Yeah.
Do you remember that on Friday we talked about the 3 things we wanted to see? And for me, number 1 was Eric Walker, and he was great. 2 was Brock Mathis, because LSU struggled behind the plate last year. Mathis was a brick wall. That was, to me, like, silently the most encouraging thing from this weekend was Brock Mathis. Like, have you seen Garza catch?
I have not.
Me either. So I don't. The one thing I'll tell you where Mathis was a little deficient, like, teams are running on him, and I don't know that he's got the arm or the pop time, or I'm not sitting there with a stopwatch to know what his pop time is, but I don't know if he's going to be able to challenge runners. Maybe Garza can, I don't know, but as far as a receiver, framing pitches, calling a game, Mathis was awesome.
Yeah.
And that was a struggle last year with Fiducia and Coombs back there, trying to find some consistency. And if Garza's better, man, you got 2 options there, which is awesome.
What I did see, to your point, was when you have those strikeout guys, they ain't worried about base runners. You have pitchers that are really kind of controlling and commanding the game, and the game, they're in their zone.
Yeah.
And I learned this from Greg Maddux. I mean, he
watch your toes, bro. Watch your toes. You're dropping names. Just watch your toes.
I learned this from Greg Maddux when I played with him, because I played in the big leagues, and he could care less.
Like my joke?
No, that's stupid.
You're stupid.
could care less about base runners. Like, his focus was primarily on the hitter. Right, wrong, or indifferent, and even playing against him, I knew I could steal second and third. He wasn't looking at me. When a pitcher's that dominant and that confident, my point is, Mathis may have been put at a disadvantage. I know a couple of the stolen bases that I saw, he had no chance. Like, it wasn't on him. It was on the pitcher. Greg Maddux, the guy that I played with.
All right, you've probably been chomping at the bit for this one. And those of you watching, I see all your comments and questions. We're going to come to y'all stuff in a little bit, and we'll wrap up as we always do with Ask Us. So anything you want to ask, you're welcome to do that. Cabrera.
I mean, how you doing?
So for a little context, you've worked with Daniel since he was
14.
Since he was 14. So there were a lot of times where he would drive up the traction when he was still at high school in John Curtis. I'd be in there pretending to get a workout in, and you'd be working with Cabrera. So for context, you've known him and watched his progression for a lot of years.
Sure, yeah. And had the privilege of kind of watching him grow up. I mean, look, I'll say this. As a former hitter, there's things that I look for in guys that I feel can translate to the next level. Number one, like rhythm and timing and confidence in the box, right? I can teach a swing to anybody, but it's more than just the swing. It also has to do with hitting. What I saw from Daniel this year was different from last year. It seemed like it didn't matter where the pitch was. There was no panic in his swing. His takes were really good. You can learn a lot from a hitter on the way they take pitches. His takes were good. The confidence level was off the charts. And the best thing about it is all he wanted to talk about after the game were his Jordan 11s with the gold bottoms. He's like, bro, did you see that play I made at the wall and the gold bottom of my cleats kind of like shining in the lights?
So that's
like, yeah.
So we're going to talk about, everyone's going to talk about the bat, right? Because, I mean, Friday night was just incredible. He was just playing a different game than everybody else on Friday night. The 2 homers, the single in the first at bat was awesome. He was awesome. I mean, he was just awesome on Friday night. But he made the leaping catch against the wall, and then the diving catch and the throw back to first to double him up. It's like, if there was one thing that I would have questioned about Cabrera this year, it would have been the glove and left. I mean, you have a great bat, but are you deficient defensively? I mean, the diving play, double play, was at a point in the game where ULM could have really gained control of that ball game. It was massive, man. I mean,
he was a center fielder. He was a center fielder pretty much his whole life up until, now you're on a team with really fast and like above average center field.
He's not a college center fielder.
He ain't playing center field on this team. Let me just tell you.
Like, I get in high school, you take your best player and you put him out there. It's like, just like you put like Drew Bianco was a shortstop in high school, and just like how sometimes the best player plays quarterback in high school. You just put your best athlete there so he touches the ball every play. But realistically, what are you talking about here?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. A great defensive play, covering all sides of the game. If he can steal bases, we got action. Not only him, but Duplantis with the 2 homers. I mean, there's just one
you think
worry.
He peed in the cup after the game?
Yeah, it's funny. And 2 homers his whole last 2 years, 2 homers, and he hits one in the first game. But one thing that did worry me though, Matt, was I expected this from Daniel, but like, who was going to protect him? And so at what point was there a big bat going to step up? And there was a couple guys that did that. I thought the freshman, Bianca.
It's Bianco.
Yeah, Bianca with the big homer. He got 1 hit, but drove the ball. Cade Beloso with the home run. Obviously the walk off. And you're seeing some power. It took Garza a little bit of time to get going, but if you can find a guy that can get right behind him, Daniel, meaning that can protect him and make sure he continues to get fastballs, it's going to be a good year, man. It's going to be a really fun, exciting year, and watch that kid.
There's a good comment from Shelby here on the Facebook Live. It said, Mathis would be a good way to keep Garza healthy. You don't have to rush him back to catch, because if he keeps playing the way he had, it's a really good point. One other thing, this is another thing that a bunch of people have asked me about. And I actually, if you remember at Baseball Media Day, I asked Maneri this question. It's about the left-handed pitching.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think a lot of people are just becoming aware of it. Now, I don't think everybody was locked into Baseball Media Day a month ago, right? But Easton McMurray's the only lefty on the staff. He's injured, so they don't have a righty. But here, or lefty, it's all righties. I asked Maneri that question. Here's what he said a month ago. So it's something clearly that they had obviously contemplated, but here's what he said about not having any lefties on staff.
We've had here Nick Bush, Jared Poche, and so forth down the line have been left-handed. But I'd rather have a a really good right-hander than a mediocre left-hander.
He went on, he did go further into that answer, and he kind of gave some, and he's right, by the way. I mean, I'd rather take Jaden Hill and Landon Marceau and Cole Henry and all of these guys instead of a so-so just to check a box. But he also talked about some of his guys, his righties, who are actually better against righties in their career than they've been against lefties. So I think they've considered it a lot. He talked about this pitcher with a certain arm angle actually might be tougher to hit for a lefty. That I guess it's something they've obviously considered and they're aware of.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you know that it's going to be a question and it could be a potential problem. So you kind of skew the numbers and data to say that. Look, I 100% agree with Paul in that assessment from a righty and lefty standpoint, but I think you gotta have a lefty. Because you're gonna face that guy, that big left-handed hitter from some team, I don't know who he is, that cannot hit lefties. Like, he's out there, and it just really struggles. And so you want to have somebody you can go to. I tell you, and Daniel pitched a little bit last year in the fall. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you see him come out from left field and throw an inning. Who knows?
No way, bro. I'm not.
I mean, it wouldn't be unprecedented, like it hadn't happened before. You remember the kid from Tulane that was so good? You had, was it Michael Aubrey?
Michael Aubrey,
yeah.
But Michael Aubrey pitched throughout his career. Cabrera's not pitching anymore. He's done with that. Tell people about Prime Occupational Medicine. We'll get to Kick Rocks here in a second.
Well, I got some good stuff on Prime.
Okay, good. Let me know. Yeah. I'd love to hear all of your good stuff on Prime.
Right, so how about this?
You talk about Prime. I'm going to read some comments.
So these guys are growing at an unbelievable rate.
I don't believe it.
We talked about this a few weeks ago, how they've taken over the Gulf South.
They took over it?
Pretty much. All right, so not only on land, but also in the water. Gulf of Mexico is now dominated by Prime. Those oil rigs, you know who takes care of those guys?
Prime.
Prime does.
Oh, my gosh.
To take it a step further, 10,000 square foot building going up on Airline Highway. So not only do they have the spot across from the fairgrounds, but they're building a beautiful brand new corporate office. When you drive by it on Airline, you're going to see the big giant Prime sign out there. You can go in, get an autograph from Duggar, holler at my boy Sean Connor, or if you want to, and this is what I would recommend, you go next to the little mini ambulance and take a picture with it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I would do because they're really cute and they're really awesome. Yeah.
PrimeOCCMed.com. If you're a business owner, check them out. They can save you money, make your people healthier. PrimeOCCMed.com. Joseph Teston said, why doesn't Scone wear a backwards hat?
I don't know if I've ever seen you wear it. Yeah, when you're working out, I've seen you do it before. Once or twice when you're really getting it.
When I'm getting it.
Yep.
In the pool. Doing the pool.
Of course you do.
Pete Giardino asked, is that a soul patch?
No, because I got that. It's growing. Look at that.
It looks terrible.
You look terrible.
You can kick rocks.
It's now time to kick rocks with Ryan Terrio.
Kick rock.
Kick rocks.
NBA can kick rocks because they're so dang sensitive.
What are you looking at? Kick rocks.
As a matter of fact, the NFL can kick rocks too.
We've got rocks. You know what to do.
In that case, then Matt's going to have to kick rocks.
Now let's see if Ryan Terrio actually prepared for this week's segment.
I'm going to tell myself to kick rocks.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
Antonio Brown.
Ooh.
Enough is enough on the social media, okay? This is what I want you to do. I want you to hire a PR guy or a social media expert and just go sit down and talk with him. You got enough money to do this, okay? It seems like you're making mistake after mistake after mistake. First, you go after the owner. That's been there for a while. Like, this is not like this some scrub that you're talking about. You go after my man Big Ben. You're going after everybody, even my boy RC. Ryan Clark. That's enough. I've had enough of it, Antonio. You're a good little receiver. Okay?
Oh, come on.
Good little player.
Don't be so condescending. Good little receiver. He's the best receiver in the game right now.
He's a good little player.
Oh, he's a good little player.
Yeah,
there you go. That's what people used to say about me when I was a baseball player as a kid. He's a good little player.
He'll give you a good at bat.
Yeah, good at bat, man. He'll get you a single every now and again. Might bang one off the ball. Yeah. You can play him all over. You put him in the outfield, he's going to catch it.
Plays hard.
Plays really hard. That's what people say about me.
He's going to give you what he's got.
Brings his lunch pail to work.
He's a good little receiver, right? I mean, look,
potential.
Enough is enough. Stay off of social media. Quit it. You're making mistakes. Hire somebody that can tell you what to do like LeBron does. You'll be much better in that regard. Kick rocks, Antonio Brown, and your social media posts.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
Did you see the story about the Yao Ming bounty?
No.
So I don't really know how this becomes a kick rocks. I don't think anybody has rocks to kick.
He's such a nice guy.
No, so listen. So Kevin Garnett is doing an interview with CBS Sports.
Okay.
And he tells a story about how in the 2000 Olympics, where the Team USA won gold in Sydney, they had a $1 million bounty for anybody that dunked on Yao Ming. If you posterize Yao Ming, you won $1 million. And remember, that was the Olympics where Vince Carter leaped over the French center, whatever. Remember the whoever the guy. Remember there was some. You never saw the dunk in the Olympics. Yao Ming. Oh, dude,
Steven Adams.
No, Vince Carter goes over this 7-footer like between his legs.
I believe you.
I mean, it was the most amazing. Oh, it's like the greatest dunk in the history of the world. It's top 5 all-time dunks. Anyway, so they all had a bet. Whoever could dunk on Ming would get $1 million. So they were all trying to do it, but either he'd block or they'd miss it. Anyway, so Frederick was the guy's name. Frederick Weiss.
Frederick Weiss.
Frederick Weiss. That's his name. So Garnett says, this was an interview with Yahoo. He said, the first thing I thought when I saw Vince dunk on Frederick was, expletive. You won the $1 million. But then I realized it obviously wasn't Yao. I pushed Vince. If you look at the clip, he almost punches me in the face by accident. But my first thought was, expletive. You won. You got the $1 million.
I just watched it. Vince Carter was good.
He's still playing in the NBA, by the way.
He could really jump. Vince Carter was good at jumping.
So who gets the rocks to kick here? That nobody posterized Yao. The Team USA.
Team USA can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Yeah, I like that. So, the San Diego Padres have sucked for probably the last, I don't know. How long have they been around?
Forever.
Okay.
Well, they were good with Tony Gwynn for a minute.
They were all right with Tony Gwynn. 30 years, is it fair to say they've sucked?
Remember they had Ken Caminetti?
Right. No, he was a guy.
Yeah.
30 years. Right?
Okay.
They've sucked for the last 30 years. It's arguably the greatest city in America to live in.
They won 90 games in 2010. They were 90 and 72.
Okay, well, they were good that year. What else?
Hang on, I got it all right here. 89 games in 07, 88 in 06,
Okay.
82. They had a little run there. 82 in 05, 87 in 04. So that run from 04 to 07, they had some good teams.
Pretty good.
Made the playoffs in 05 and 06, lost in the LDS. The 98 Padres.
That's Caminetti and the
Yeah.
guys.
That was the team that went to the World Series and lost to the Yankees.
Yeah.
They won 98 games that year.
Well, how'd they do last year?
Oh, they were not good. They were. No, they were 66 and 96.
Let's work backwards.
So wins by year, working
Yeah,
backwards.
yeah.
This is a lot of numbers. We're
It's
gonna
okay.
bore
Let's
people.
do it.
Okay.
No. I'm getting to my point here.
I'll tell you what, Paulie, if you want to pull this up just so people can see and can look at it with us. So here you go. Working backwards, 66 wins. You can notice the column right here would be your win total column for those watching.
All right.
All right, so 66, 71, 68, 74, 77, 76, 76, 71 on the 70s, 90, 75, 63. Then you get into that stretch, 89, 88, 82, 87. Then 64, 66, 79, 76, 74. 98 was the World Series year in 98. 98 wins in 98. 76 wins in 97. 91 wins back in 96.
Have they ever won the World Series?
No.
Okay.
They've had some nice seasons mixed in there.
They've got some. Yeah, they had some decent seasons.
They were founded in 1969 was their first year.
Okay.
And they went 52 and 110.
Yeah. Okay, so for the most part, I think if we took all those numbers and put them together, the San Diego Padres have sucked since they were founded.
Their all-time winning percentage is .461, and they've made 5 playoff appearances. 2 pennants.
Yeah. So collectively the organization has failed. They suck. They're below 500.
They had Bruce Bochy.
They had Boch, my guy.
Yeah.
He's about to retire.
I know,
I'm sad
sorry,
about that.
sorry.
I like Boch.
Didn't you say he's a giant?
He looks like Shrek.
Yeah.
He's got a giant head. I bet you his head weighs 50 pounds.
Yeah.
He's huge feet and hands.
Yeah.
And he growls when he talks like, how you doing? But his head is so big when he walks, it shakes like this, like a bobblehead. Is it fair to say the San Diego Padres, since they were formed, have sucked?
Yeah.
Okay. They just committed $300 million. They just committed $300 million to a player.
Yeah.
Manny Machado.
Yep. That happened.
Who's put up pretty good numbers, but sucks as a teammate. Sucks as a winning baseball player. Does not run balls out. Does not play hard. Dogs it when the game's going on. Good numbers. Not a winner. San Diego, you've just done it again. You've depleted all your cash. You gave it to a guy that's got a terrible attitude on the field that nobody likes. It's not a winner. Now your team's going to suck for the next 10 years. Mark my words.
Yeah.
10 years, the San Diego Padres are going to suck.
Yeah.
When they're able to either trade this guy or somehow buy his contract out, then they got a chance again. But until then, they're going to suck. You guys kick rocks.
Okay. My turn?
Yep.
Anthony Davis can kick rocks. This is becoming an old hat at this point. But, yeah, he gets hurt. He leaves the game. He goes gets an MRI. And then, 2 days later, he plays in the All-Star game. So kick rocks, you idiot.
He had a bruise.
I'm over you. Forever. In perpetuity. What else you got?
I had one more. But I forgot.
I have one more.
2 years. 2 years. Let me find my other one.
People who are cracking on the alliance of American football.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that.
So here's why. I watched some of the game. I did not watch this weekend. I did watch last weekend. It feels like I'm watching preseason NFL football. Guys that are going to get cut. That's what it feels like.
Fair enough.
And it is. It's a lot of guys that just got cut. I mean, that's kind of what it is. Today, Darren Revelt was the first to tweet, at least the first that I saw. Breaking after 1 week. After week one, the new football league, the AAF, essentially sold off the entire league to Carolina Hurricanes owner Tom Dundon. Dundon puts in $250 million. So Dundon made a huge cash infusion because they were going to be short on payroll here in the early going after week two. And a lot of people are pointing and laughing at this league. I kind of have the other side of it. Billionaires typically become billionaires because they make good business decisions and they respect their money. If a billionaire is putting $250 million into this, he clearly sees the ROI potential. And if you're, as an investor, you're good making a cash infusion into a business that is making money. It's like, hey, we need cash to keep making money. It's like, okay, well then I'll get a return on my investment. Like, he wouldn't save a business that was dying because it sucked. If you're a business that's succeeding and you need a cash infusion, you go to someone with cash and say, hey, man, look, we're growing, but we're about to hit this wall because we don't have any more cash. So, to me, I'm like, why would billionaire guy throw $250 million at this thing if he thought it was just about to die on the vine? I think it's a good day for the AAF.
So, look, I'll just tell you, I haven't watched a game from start to finish. I've watched a few highlights. But if you're on social media, following Instagram, Twitter, any of the social media platforms, it's blowing up with AAF content. It's all over the place. That's all people are talking about. The quarterbacks get crushed. I mean, it's fast-paced. Like, he sees it, man. I get it. I think they have some momentum and savvy business move. Good for you.
The dumbest thing is the NFL not buying this. The NFL should have bought it for $250 million, made it its, like, puts an executive over to run it, like they had with NFL Europe, except you're stateside. It's more manageable.
You get control. Yeah.
And the other part of it, too, is what you just said, and I think we might have talked about this after week one. Like, social media changes the game because even if someone's not watching the game, they become aware of it because they're going to see the highlights on their Twitter feed and everything. People are talking about it.
Does he hate me playing the AAF?
No, I think I don't know what he's doing anymore.
He's done. Remember him?
Yeah, Rod Smart was his name. Ended up going to play for the Carolina Panthers for a minute. Yeah,
I liked him.
Oh, you got any more?
Not.
Okay. So, and by the way, that's not a prediction. I'm not telling you like I think the AAF makes it, and certainly there are smart business people that have failed in the past, that have made investments and lost. But typically, guys run a cost benefit analysis, and they'll weigh the risk and reward and say, does this make sense? And I just don't think that guy is going to go throw a $250 million at this if he's like, yeah, that's going to be dead in a week.
Quarter Billy. How about that?
Hey, no NBD, let's do it.
How you doing? What do you want, like cash or check, or how are we doing this?
Yeah, we're doing it. Venmo? PayPal? All right, it's the Riot Podcast presented by Prime Occupational Medicine. We're going to do your questions for Terrio. It's the Ask Us segment. That's coming up here shortly. We also have to do Ryan's Wise. Real quick, though, LSU basketball, they play Florida tomorrow. They won at Georgia this weekend. Give me a thought on the basketball Tigers. Don't be generic. Give me something good here.
Okay.
Don't do your generic, I'm in the locker room post-game. You got like their effort, feel really good. They're climbing the rankings, and I just really respect the job Will Wade's doing. He's making them better right now, and guys are they're bought in and really like the direction of the program. Don't give me that. Give me something good.
That was good right there.
I know.
I feel like this is a trap. This is going to be a trap game.
Sometimes you get into. Sometimes I got to snap you out of X player after the game interview mode.
When I don't have a true hard take, I go there.
I know you do.
I do. I mean,
and I'd rather you say I don't have a good take on that.
Really?
Yeah. Be honest. I'd rather you say that than waste my time with 30 seconds of pablum.
Yeah. You think everybody else picks up on that?
Yes.
Do they really?
Yes.
Do they just zone out, or they maybe turn the dial?
Probably zone out.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm there to go, hey, wait, come back. Come back.
Back here.
And I call you out.
Come here, Rhino.
Yeah. Come on, Rhino.
Stop it, big boy.
No post-game nonsense.
I'm worried about this game. This game scares me tremendously. I mean, you've seen obviously the highs that this team is on, big victories. The Kentucky win at Tennessee makes it look even better. Blah blah blah. This is a trap game if I've ever seen one. I'm a little concerned. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys handle the success. You're the 13th team in the country. And I'm just not only the players but also Will Wade. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm nervous about this game. That's my take. I'm not super confident. I was super confident last week in the Georgia game.
Florida is the best defensive team in the SEC. They're really good at stopping you from scoring. They are not, however, very good at scoring the basketball.
Well, you got to score though to win, right?
Unless if LSU, which sometimes plays loose and carefree and allows easy buckets, allows Florida to score 75, and Florida, like if this is a game that's played in the low 70s, LSU wants to get it in the 80s. LSU scores 83 a game.
Mm-hmm.
If Florida can hold LSU into the 68 to 72 range, and Florida's got a shot because of how LSU plays defensively. So I'm curious. But it's the exact same spot that Kentucky was in a week ago. Kentucky had a good LSU team coming in, but they were looking ahead to Saturday with number one Tennessee, and LSU popped them. Same thing here. Everyone's super pumped about Tennessee coming in next weekend. Here comes a good Florida team.
That's my theory. You see, you're saying it. I was good, huh? All right. I got a good take right there. Boy, Ryan, nice work.
I mean, except that you didn't say that. I said that.
No, but I said it before that. So I was super worried about it possibly being a trap game, like a legit worried. And then you made the point again. Made me feel good. We're on the same wavelength. Look, we're right there. You see that?
I said it better.
I mean, your defensive point was good, though. That's true. I didn't know that. Hey, defense wins championships, You just got to play hard, leave it all out on the floor. Go out there, pat the floor, play hard defense, rebound. Got to block out. If you don't block out, you can't. If you got to get on the board, you got to rebound, got to block out, play smart defense, close out, take good shots too. That's the main thing, taking good shots. Stay out of foul trouble. If these guys can stay out of foul trouble, we're good.
We're going to get to Ask Us here in a second. So if you're watching still, God bless you. And there are some of you that are still watching.
Is Nick watching?
Probably. He hasn't commented in a while.
He might have checked out.
Probably did. Gosh. It was your boring, and he could sniff your boring cliche answer coming, and
he's been there.
I'm bouncing out of this right now.
He's been there.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to do Ryan's Wise. You want to tell people about Prime again?
Yeah, so if you are a business owner, you want your employees to be their healthiest they can possibly be.
Why?
And you want them to be healthy so they can perform for you, the owner. They can do their job at a high level.
It's true.
PrimeOCCMed.com. Check them out. They can give you the game plan to get your employees physically fit, healthy, and in shape so they can perform on the job site. Also, drug testing. Make sure these guys are in the right spot, right? You can do that. It's mobile. They can come to your business and do it. PrimeOCCMed.com. You can call them at 225-749-5750. PrimeOCCMed.com.
And they're tagged in this post, so if you're watching us on Facebook or however you find them, go like their Facebook page. That's a big help, too. So we're going to do Ryan's Wise, MLB Free Agent Edition. We have battled the music bed issue with this for a while. Brian Haldane, the brain, suggested we do Jimmy Fallon's thank you note music.
Okay.
So here, are you familiar? Here's how it sounds.
I love that song. Gorgeous. Sounds like the guy at Happy's.
So that's the thank you note music. Mm-hmm. So do you think you want to roll with that?
I can do. Yeah, I like that. That's my speed.
Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
You got to go because it's only 17 seconds.
Oh, you're going to have to keep restarting it?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't Major League...
Wait.
You see what I'm saying? That's not going to work.
So what Fallon does on thank you notes is James, who's playing the keyboard, he's like, James, can I get some thank you notes writing music? And he plays that. And then every time Jimmy goes to write a thank you note, he does this with his pen. And whenever his pen hits the paper, that's when James starts playing the music. And it's just it's a punchline every time, right?
When does he just write one thank you note?
He'll do like 6 or 8 or so.
The music plays throughout, or does it ever stop?
It stop, and then every time he goes to write a new one, they start it over again.
Okay, so let's do this. I'll ask the question. I'll ask the why with the bed music. Then it's going to stop.
Yeah, that's the point. That's
and then
what
we're going to restart. All right. So what
we totally should have prepped this instead of like trying to. Paul's laughing at us right now. Like he's like, you amateur idiots.
So
That's what Paul O'Neill is thinking right now. He's sitting there going, you two idiots, why didn't you talk about this before you started instead of doing this now while you're recording the podcast?
How do I cue you on when to start the music? You want me to pretend like I'm writing a letter? I can do that. I'll use my finger. Yeah, I'll use your pen. Hey, can I get some Y music? Why don't the Major League Baseball players just strike? They should just stop. See, now you stop.
It was almost done.
Okay. Let's try that all over again. I'll make it last 17 seconds.
You were at 15. Like you were right there.
I know, I was close. All right, you ready? I didn't know. Hey, Matt, can I get some Y music? Why don't the Major League Baseball players just strike? Do it like the old guys did. Don't let the owners bully you around. The issue that I have here is in the 90s when this strike took place. Was it 94? Is that when it was?
Mm-hmm.
94 strike. And then even before that, Matt, guys sacrificed for these young dudes today to be able to go through free agency, to be able to go through arbitration, not be stuck with one team the entire time. And it really upsets me that these greedy young players are willing to give in to the greedy owners that absolutely collude. And it's going to hurt the game, and I don't like it. Hey, can I get some more of that music? I got another one.
It's so stupid. Okay.
Why does it take 6 years to get to free agency, Matt?
I don't know.
You heard me correct. 6 years in the major leagues to get to free agency.
Because you all collectively bargained that and made a bad decision?
Stupid.
Well, do better in the next CBA.
We got to strike. 6 years.
No, you're not calling for
We got to strike.
Come on.
Enough is enough. I'm being honest.
Hey, I
with
got
you.
a better idea. Don't sign a stupid CBA.
I get it. It was stupid.
You can't, like...
I wasn't involved in the last one. Don't get mad at me. I was involved in the one before, but not the last one. 6 years. You kidding me? You know how many years it takes to play in the NFL to be fully vested pension-wise? You know how many?
No.
You know how many it takes in big leagues?
The people listening to the podcast didn't
4.
see you wiggle your fingers.
It takes
at me, by the way.
4. Okay, that's what I did.
Paul's
I
laughing at you
wiggled
again.
my fingers. Shut up, Paul. 4. You know how many it takes in the major leagues to be fully vested with your pension? Do you know how many? That many. 10. 10 years. Stupid. Clean it up. And there's a minor league system with guys trying to take your
So
jobs.
I got an idea. The next time the CBA rolls around, collectively bargain those things.
I get
A
it.
CBA, you have give and take. The owners get some of what they want. The players get some of what they want. It's not all going to be gravy. You know what you get? You get $300 million contracts. So shut up. I have no sympathy for you.
Why is it that the arbiters, is that what they're called? The arbiters?
Yep.
Have zero baseball knowledge when sitting through an arbitration hearing, yet they have the ability to determine the player's salary.
I don't know.
Why doesn't Bryce Harper have a job?
The best part, for everyone listening, the best part is you like taking your pen and touching your phone.
Trying to cue you.
I know.
It's your cue. So good.
It's not, though.
It's so great. It's the worst, actually.
It is. Any more?
Why doesn't Bryce Harper have a job?
Because he's greedy and he wants $350 million.
Why doesn't Dallas Keuchel have a job?
Because he's greedy and he wants $350 million.
Why is the AAF so much better than the NFL?
It's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Okay, it's not. But I want it to be.
Okay.
All right. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yep. We went rapid fire at the end.
We'll need some feedback there on how that went. So if you're watching us here on the Facebook Live, give us some or if you're listening to the podcast like later down the line, shoot us either a tweet or a text or something, or not a text, just tweet or Facebook message, and let us know how you liked or didn't like the other Facebook Live there. You want to give one more shout out to Prime here, and we'll get to some Ask Ryan, or Ask Us rather, is how we do it.
Yep.
You can ask us anything about anything. Just jump on the Facebook Live and fire away.
You want to know how fast these people are growing at Prime OCC Med?
How
Prime
fast
Occupational
are
Med.
they?
New corporate headquarters on Airline Highway, 10,000 square feet of loveliness. Check them out, primeoccmed.com. Give them a call, 749-5750. Safety, human resources, corporate planning. If you're a business owner, you need these people in your life. Prime Occupational Medicine.
Paul Batts asked us if Hess struggles in Austin for the Texas series, will they rethink the rotation?
I don't think so. I mean, he's got till the SEC. I think.
All right, I'm going to ask you point blank right now. At any point in the season, does Paul Mainieri pull Zack Hess from the rotation?
No.
Okay, I agree.
But he might not be the Friday night starter.
It doesn't make any sense. You might as well just leave him as your Friday night guy, and Marceau and Walker will give you an advantage every Saturday and Sunday.
What about Hill? What do you do with him?
He's going to be
midweek games matter.
He's going to be your midweek starter.
Why?
Pitch him 3 innings and then have him be a mid reliever on the weekend. Same with Cole Henry. Same with Mikael Hilliard.
If they are as dominant as they are, why? Why not have them in an SEC game?
They will pitch in the SEC. They just won't start. It's a good problem to have, by the way.
It's a great problem. I agree.
Matt Orion, this is from Keith Scalco. What's going on with Hilliard? Haven't heard anything about him this year.
Yeah, I think he's getting nicked up a little bit. Still kind of nursing an injury from what I understand.
He's had arm soreness. The same thing that caused him to miss the regional last year. It's just lingered, and he's just not been good to go. Brandon DeVille, will the LSU game be canceled tomorrow? With the LSU game canceled tomorrow, do they use Walker today or wait until the weekend to use him again?
I'm not sure. How many days rest does that give him?
So Walker pitched in relief on Friday. They were going to start him tomorrow at Northwestern State. And so then I would think you just let him pitch Sunday. Maybe would you do like a bullpen? What would you do with him?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to keep him on regular work, probably. So You'd probably live bullpen or kind of an aggressive bullpen there.
Let's see. Sorry, I lost my place. Welcome, guys. Landed in Lafayette, ready to go watch the Tigers. Tis midweek games matter to me. That's from Kirk Taylor. Kirk is up. He watches all our stuff, and he lives in Omaha. LSU fan up in Omaha. So he's here to watch the midweek game. Poor guy. Let's see. Ask us. Shelby, what adjustment should Garza make on hitting the curveballs? Is he just not picking it up early?
No, I mean, it's the first series of the year. You know, I mean, the guy hadn't played in front of a crowd like this, and I mean, it's a lot happens with nerves, and all. He's gonna be fine.
He looked bad against the off-speed stuff this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trying to do too much. I mean, look, a lot goes into it, man. If you're up there and you're a little nervous and excited and anxious, and everything's going fast like that, the one pitch that you're going to struggle with is a breaking ball. You just got to slow the game down.
Jeffrey, Bone, Ryan, would you move Cade Beloso to the 5-hole?
I think they'll still probably tinker a little bit with the first base spot.
I mean, he's got to win the job first.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That big hit, man, couldn't have been more. He will never forget that moment. Like, that's a till the day you die type deal. Just super happy for that kid.
Do you have a feeling Beloso, Bianco at first? I mean, it's a 3-game sample size.
I've always said Beloso.
Beloso is... So my feeling has always been, I think Paul would platoon them, lefty-righty, unless if one guy just showed he was so much better with the bat or one guy threw up on himself defensively. Bianco struggled at first defensively. He and Hughes collided on a pop-up on the infield. He had a costly error in the 7th or 8th against 8th when ULM rallied. Like, Beloso's a better defensive first baseman. That's not even really a question. And Bianco was 1 of 9 this weekend at 5 strikeouts. Like, after his home run on Sunday, he struck out his next 3 at-bats. Like, but today would be the interesting test case, right? Because Beloso's a lefty and Southeastern's throwing a lefty. So you would think this would be a game where they start Bianco. I'd go Beloso to see if he can hit a lefty. If he hits a lefty, he's my guy. At least, moving forward until proven otherwise. What did you think about the lineup, though?
It played out well, I thought. I mean, probably wasn't what I would have done, but...
So through the first 2 games, until Beloso's homer, the bottom third was 0 for the weekend. So... I want Broussard out of the 2-hole and in the 8-hole. I gotta have somebody that I feel like can get on base.
Like down in the order?
Yes.
Yeah. There's 2 theories, man. You spread it out and you do what you said, or you just say, you know what? I'm just gonna load up these dudes right here, and that's murderer's row. And you're gonna get a run or 2 whenever they come up.
Wouldn't it still be though if you went Smith, who by the way hit like 667 on the weekend.
Good.
If they go Smith, Duplantis, Watson, Cabrera, Garza, Beloso. I mean, isn't that still what we just described? And then you go Mathis, Broussard, Hughes.
What if you put Smith in the 3-hole and Cabrera in the 2-hole?
No. I want Smith leading off. Ask Ryan, is 10 years, $300 million for Machado a reach by the Padres?
Yeah, he stinks.
Come on.
He's a good player, but he stinks at playing baseball. Does that make sense?
Okay.
That makes 0 sense.
Ask us. Baseball Prospectus published its PECOTA 2019 MLB projections has the Astros as a 98-win team. Thoughts?
Yeah, they're good. They'll be really good.
The Astros?
Mm-hmm.
Those Padres from 04 to 10 had the Giles brothers. Pretty good team, as we talked about earlier. Forgot about that.
I think they had the Sweeney. Is Mike Sweeney? You like Mike Sweeney?
I hate you so much.
They had Ryan Sweeney, too.
What about Matt Sweeney?
I don't know Matt Sweeney.
You don't know? You're not familiar with Matt Sweeney?
I'm not familiar with Matt Sweeney.
Heard Matt Sweeney was...
I never played with Matt Sweeney.
Heard Matt Sweeney was just a massive get.
He was... I heard Matt Sweeney was a monster.
Matt Sweeney was a monster. There it is.
Oh, you're so good. So disgusting.
Oh, man.
Love it.
You could bang it all over the yard. Matt
Well,
Sweeney.
there you go. Took it too far. There you go. Attaboy. I like it.
I hate you. Matthew Rogelio, ask y'all, how does the postponement of tomorrow's game hurt the Tigers in the long run?
It doesn't.
Opinion, Jordan Remondet. Ramonde. R-E-M-O-N-D-E-T. Ramonde or Remondet?
Ramonde.
Let's go with it. Opinion on Hal Hughes this past weekend?
I'll go there.
Still can't hit.
Yeah.
By a mile the best option at third.
Yeah, no, he can play. It is what we thought it was going to be. I think he'll get better with the bat.
Paul Batts, ask us, Hot Shots or Apollos, who's the best AAF team currently?
I like the Apollos.
Whichever one has Spurrier.
Spurrier or Apollos.
Okay, yeah, them. Because I just like hearing Spurrier crack on people.
Mm-hmm.
Ask us, should Garza offer Joe Boo a cigar and rum and sacrifice a live chicken?
That's one weekend. I mean,
candy curveballs, bro.
Come on. You guys are nuts. It was one weekend. Relax. Baseball. He's fine. He can hit curveballs. He has pop the other way. If you can't hit a breaking ball, you shouldn't be able to drive the baseball the other way.
Why?
Because you have to stay back in order to do that. The weight has to stay back. Head has to stay back. Eyes have to stay behind the ball in order to drive it to the opposite field. He can do that. We've talked about it all offseason. We've raved about how he drives the ball the other way. Well, in order to do that, you have to stay back. That's how you hit the breaking ball. He was nervous. I mean, it's part of it, man. Give the guy a break. He'll be fine.
Ask us who homers tonight for the Tigers.
Lefty going. Let's go Zach Watson, like line drive missile.
He needs one. Bentley Spears ask us how many at-bats will Todd Peterson get this year?
He's going to get another at-bat.
No, he won't.
Yeah, he's getting one.
You want to bet?
Like, just for the sake of doing it, he's going to get one.
Nope. Ask us who comes in after Walker tonight.
I don't know. Who didn't throw this weekend?
I think they threw everybody, man.
Yeah,
especially by the
everybody
end. Clay Moffitt got in it. Clay Moffitt got in that bat. He got hit.
He did get an
He got
AB.
hit, yeah. I mean, it was well after anybody cared. They were up 17-5 on Air Force on Sunday.
Yeah.
They let him hit. He got hit by pitch. He was up there hacking, dude. He was down like 0-2 and then got hit with a pitch.
I like it.
Let's see. Michael Clark asked both. If you were playing tonight, what would your walk-up music be? Bang Bang, Ariana Grande, Nicki Minaj, Jesse James. It's my choice.
All Eyes on Me, Tupac.
Ask us, rather get blindsided by Devin White or take a 98-mile-an-hour fastball off the tricep?
Fastball. No questions asked. Fastball. Tricep's fine. It's the elbow that hurts. Tricep, you're good.
I'm wearing pads if Devin White hits me.
Yeah, but concussion, like whiplash, like there's a lot of bad things can happen when that dude hits you.
Okay. Ryan's headphones look like he's wearing big wheel
They're
tires
the worst.
on the side
I
of his
know,
head.
they're horrible. I don't know why they keep doing this to me. They are the absolute worst. You get the cool stuff, and then I get this.
I got Beats. Erica gave me these, though. These were a gift. Maybe Christmas last year or something.
These are so bad. They're huge. Look at them.
Alvino, ask us if LSU beats Bama this year but does not make the playoff, are they still back? I got an easy answer. They're not beating Bama, so it doesn't matter.
Shut your mouth when you're talking.
They're not going to Tuscaloosa and beating Alabama with Tua. They're not doing it.
Ain't going to Omaha.
Famous last words. They're a game away from winning the national title. Oh, that's funny. That's what Erica told me 2 years ago in 2017. We're trying to plan family vacation. I was like, well, it depends on College World Series in Omaha. We got to look at the schedule and yada, yada, yada. She goes, they ain't going to Omaha. It's like they had lost the midweek game and everybody thought they sucked.
And then what'd she say?
What did she say?
Yeah.
I don't know.
She said they stink. They stink.
They stink. I might have made that up.
I like it.
All right, that's going to do it for the Riot Podcast presented by Prime Occupational Medicine, PrimeOCCMed.com. We appreciate our friends over at Prime Occupational Medicine. If you're watching us on Facebook, It'd be a big help if you liked their Facebook page. They're tagged in this post. And, of course, if you're a business owner, you want a healthier workforce that can be more productive for you, Prime Occupational Medicine helps companies from the mom and pops up to Fortune 500 make that happen. PrimeOCCMed.com. Check them out, Prime Occupational Medicine. Hey, thanks for coming in and doing the podcast today.
Hey, it was great. I had a blast.
Thanks to Paul O'Neill for judging us from his high horse over there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
See you later.